very excited to have Alex and Alex on. I had the pleasure of working with Alex Montalenti, I don't know, probably a year or two before the COVID. You know, I base everything before COVID and after COVID because like those 3 years kind of just merged into one, right? So I had the pleasure of working with Alex and really impressed with the business that they've built and more importantly, how they're supporting agents in leveraging the power of having a strong online presence, leveraging the power of Google. They have some cool technology they may talk about, but what's cool to watch is, you know, I was there kind of, I don't know, you guys probably had the business for a year or two when we were working together a little bit. And now every time I open up Facebook, Alex is on some big stage somewhere talking to, you know, huge crowds, working with, you know, top agents like Ryan Serhant and all sorts of cool stuff. So it's just really amazing to one, know that they're offering great education and great solutions, but also watch them take this thing and make it something really, really special. So congratulations on all of your guys' success. And I appreciate you carving out, you know, 60 minutes to be with a few hundred agents today.
Of course, man. Thank you. Your contribution was huge back then when we were looking to understand a little more about how to serve the industry, and you had plenty of years of experience. And I always enjoyed our conversations and your advice, and we took your advice and we ran with it. So here we are.
I like it. You've done well. Congrats. So like I said earlier, we have watch parties that are happening in like 14, 16 different offices, as well as people that will be jumping on the Zoom. So chat, as always, since we're on a Zoom format and they're saying something like, instead of round of applause, we're going to raise our hands. That's our virtual round of applause. So if they're, you know, throwing down some nuggets, don't be shy to use that. And then if you have any questions, throw it in the Q&A chat. I will turn off my camera, but I will be present in the background as always, managing the Q&A through my phone, the text that I get from the room moderators, as well as the Q&A that comes in here. So I will turn off my screen and hand it over to the two Alexes.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Appreciate the intro, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so let's go over here. And you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
See it perfectly.
All right, so a little background on myself and Alex. You got Alex squared here today. We're actually going to be Googling one of you live and showing you the importance of online reputation, your presence on Google, what realtors need to look like online. And I've been in this industry for over 23 years, actually. My mom was a realtor. She's retired now, but she was doing real estate her whole life in America. She came from Romania. Her family was doing pretty well there. They were entrepreneurs, but during communism, everything got taken away. Their house got occupied. And my grandmother was a super good negotiator. She negotiated to exchange her house for her passports so that my mom and my grandma could escape from Romania and come to America. Wow. They started in America with nothing. And my mom worked in the factories, Staples factory in Queens, New York. Then she got into rental real estate in New York City, Queens, and then into residential real estate, saved up enough money to put a down payment on this property that you see in the background. And I was blessed to be raised here. And my mom was doing real estate in the 80s and 90s. And in 1999, you all know the internet hit the real estate market. So my mom was freaking out because she didn't know computers, she didn't know technology, and she had this giant mortgage to pay for this house in the background here. And I came home from college and I started helping her with her digital marketing and with putting listings in the MLS. And I've been in the industry ever since. We actually built a website and marketing company out of the garage. That's where the little arrow's pointing to. And we started that in the year 2000. Then we got into listing syndication. We got into social media branding. And now we have a little company called RealGrader that's going nationwide. And it's been quite a journey. So I've been here for 23 years, happy to help. And I see that even now, it's 2023, but still 48% of realtors say that keeping up with technology is one of their biggest challenges. We see it all the time. Realtors, I was just at a conference yesterday called SocialCon, and Tristan Ahumada and Jeff Fitzer were there presenting. And a lot of realtors were like, listen, all this social media stuff is just overwhelming. I just want to sell homes. If you're somebody on this call right now and you're like, listen, all this stuff is overwhelming, I just want to sell homes, let us know in the chat. We know that it takes a lot of time. We know it's complex and we know it's frustrating. And we also know that you can't really manage it all by yourself. So I want to relieve you of that stress of like, if you feel like, wow, how do I manage all this? You guys talk about it all the time, social media, Google reviews, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my YouTube, my Facebook, my Zillow, my homes.com, my realtor.com. You can't really manage it all on your own. It's just a lot. Most of the top producers that are managing all this stuff, they actually have teams helping them. They have virtual assistants, right? So, I mean, you do have to have a solid presence, but you don't necessarily have to do it all on your own. And we do recommend getting some help around that stuff. But here's the consequences if you do nothing. You literally can miss opportunities online. Like if you don't have a Google business page and you don't have at least 25 Google reviews, you could be missing business. You're literally not getting the referral. You're not getting the phone call. You lose credibility. You don't have a presence online. And yeah, ultimately business deals are lost. So during COVID, I love that Sam goes pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, we were visiting about 150 real estate offices a year, which was crazy. A lot of travel, teaching all about this stuff. And during COVID, we had to choose, what are we going to do? It was survival mode, right? Like I had no real estate offices to go to, no way to make business. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go all contribution and I'm just going to do free education every day at 2:00 on all social media platforms. And that was the biggest thing we ever did. And that's organically doubled our business. I didn't think that would even happen. I just said, I just want to be there helping the real estate industry through this because that's all I can do from my house. So we did it every day at 2:00. And fortunately, we chose between these two options. Instead of dabbling, we chose to go all in. And I love this slide that I picked up from Russell Brunson, actually, where dabble is on the left, right? Like a couple decorations on the house. All in is like on the right, like all in. And I'll ask all of you on this call right now, where are you with real estate? Are you dabbling or are you all in? Let us know in the chat, because this is something you want to commit to, right? I mean, real estate is a career. You're either going to go all in or you're going to dabble. And what we chose during COVID was to go all in. And I can tell you that it paid off. And I know that when you go all in on your business, it pays off too. We got written up in the Real Deal. We got written up on Inman. We got written up in Realtor.com because we were just helping all these realtors get through it. And a couple free resources for you all that came out of COVID. We created this resource called realgraderuniversity.com. It's a free resource, free videos, free education, free downloadable guidebooks on all the platforms. So make note of that, realgraderuniversity.com. And we also created these 8 guidebooks that I'm actually going to give away for free to this group here. We'll give you a number that you can text into and we'll text you back the link. That's not for us to spam you. We don't have time for that. That's just to give you value. So we have 8 guidebooks, 242 pages of information, checklists on what you need to do on each platform. This was a contribution from COVID, right? I mean, we look at COVID, we go, that was a tough time, but I mean, there was a lot of contribution and generosity that came out of that period. This is another couple value points that I want to give to you all. I was getting ready to speak at a big event and I'm like, there's so much information. How do I chunk it down for you all into actionable items? So I said, okay, I'm going to give you the 5 major platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I think Google too, and tell you what are the top 7 or 8 things that you can do on each platform. You can screenshot this, or we're also going to give you the slides so you'll get those too. But these are the top 7 things I would do on Facebook. Number 1, update your profile photo. The photo that you have on your personal Facebook page. That is going to trigger the algorithm and wake up your Facebook. Number two, join local groups. Join as many local Facebook groups that you can, whether that's the school groups, that's the kayaking group, the paddleboarding group, whatever your hobbies or interests are, because you can participate in those groups and connect with local community members. Number three is edit your friend list. Now, we all know we have a friend list, but you can actually create lists within your friend lists of specific groups of people, like your most valuable clients, right? Wouldn't you like to just connect with just your clients on Facebook, not all the other garbage? You can prioritize people by creating these lists. You can unfollow people. This doesn't mean unfriending them, but you know those posts that come on Facebook and you're like, I don't really need to see that person's lunch. You can unfollow those distractions. Also connect with your contacts. And I know this is like simple stuff, but I can tell you that a lot of realtors aren't doing it, and I highly recommend it. Just go connect with your people on your personal Facebook. And why I'm pushing the personal Facebook over the business is because the business doesn't do much for realtors anymore. Now it's about the relationships you're building on your personal profiles. And finally, like people's posts, even if you're not posting, comment on their stuff and send them a direct message. And I can tell you, direct messaging on Facebook changed my life. I actually got my girlfriend while I was getting divorced, the love of my life, through DM, right? I've got investors through DM. Many of you can get clients and change your lives through DM, but a lot of people aren't using direct message. A lot of you people are just liking and commenting. This is the key factor.
Alex, I just want to point a couple things out because you dropped some nuggets. Let's quickly talk about like Facebook groups. I think that people talk about this often. I know I've done great with Facebook groups. Let's break that down. If I'm joining a local Facebook group, what am I doing inside it? Let's say it's a mommy group or a hiking group or whatever. Like, what's the cadence? What's the messaging? And how do I connect that to real estate?
Perfect. So what I recommend is going into the group, getting acquainted with the kind of posts that are being done in there, and then dropping something of value. So for example, if it's the mommy group, you may want to drop a recommendation on a local place that would serve that mommy group, right? And then another post where you're going to provide value, like maybe a really great night out, local restaurant, whatever the case may be. You're not selling real estate, you're just providing value. People get to comment, people get to like your posts, you start commenting, you like people posts. And then what you can do is you can start friending the people in the group. Those lists of people that are members of the group are accessible to you once you've joined the group. And because they're seeing your posts and because they're seeing the value, they are going to accept your request, which now they can start seeing your posts on your social media and organically connect to you as a realtor. But you don't have to go in the group and say, check out my listing. Like, no, that's not the right thing to do. I see that.
I'll just back up this point. I've been preaching groups, starting them, joining them, and even buying them. And maybe one day, if you guys want, I'll do a class on how to buy Facebook groups for no money out of pocket. But we had an agent in Bakersfield who I did a coaching session with, and I was like, look, like you're a very passionate mom, join a momming group, and eventually let's see if we can even buy it. Fast forward 6-7 months later, she ended up acquiring the group, being in a group that she's passionate to contribute to, and she gets about 8 to 12 deals a year just from the mommy group. So if we're saying, in San Diego, average commission $15,000, guys, that's $150,000 to $250,000 swing by leveraging these groups. So don't allow yourself to sleep on that. We had a question come in from Julie. Should I be posting my listings on personal page too, not just biz page? I was leaving the listing post to just the biz page, but maybe I should rethink that.
I mean, here's my take on posting listings. When you're posting a listing on social media, it's like fishing in the ocean, right? I mean, in the middle of the ocean, it's such a big ocean. The people that are on social media aren't necessarily interested in your listing. right? So, I mean, can you post your listings every once in a while? Sure. But if you're the type of realtor that's just posting listings on social media and nothing else, that's not really going to work in your favor. That's actually going to be a turnoff. So, I mean, I think the personal Facebook is where you should all be playing more, not the business. You can post your listings on your Facebook business. That's fine. That's a subscribe in type of opt-in type of relationship. But when you're actually making connections with people, they don't want to see your listings. They want to see you. What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
Yeah, I agree. And something that we've talked about a lot over the past, couple months doing these is there's a difference between telling people you're in real estate and showing them. And showing is way more powerful than telling. Telling is just listed, just sold, it's kind of like, Julie, what you're talking about, and that's fine. But showing them goes a lot further. Instead of like just showing your listing, go do a live video tour walking through the property and like bringing the story to life, or share, tips on the current market, give them education, give them something of value. I always love the idea of just doing your featured investor property of the week or featured luxury property of the week. And you start to just build this cadence of showing them you're in real estate as opposed to just posting, just listed or just sold. That's a good way to start. But I think the more you can bring it to life with stories and education and value add, something that's truly engaging is really how to step up your game. Because kind of like what Alex was saying, nicer than I'm about to say it, no one really cares that you just got a listing, right? Maybe your like very close family or friends get excited about that, but let's bring it to life by showing them, sharing content, etc.
100%. So let me move into Instagram a little bit here. So for Instagram, the top 7 things I would recommend is updating your bio to make sure you have a really professional bio. And what that looks like is like emojis and things like that, but really go check out your Instagram and see what people see when they read your bio on Instagram. And, I update mine from time to time because it evolves, I evolve. So same thing with all of you. There's certain things that you might want to mention. Make sure there's a call to action link. That call to action link could be a link to your digital card. It could be a link to your calendar. It could be updated daily, but make sure there's a link where they can get more information about you, and go click on that link and see where it goes and see if that's the right customer journey for your customers. The third most effective thing on Instagram is to post reels. Why do you want to post reels? Because when you post a reel, it can also go in as a regular post. It can also be shared to your story, and then it could also be shared to your Facebook story. So talk about leveraging your time. You're going to get 4 out of 1, right? One post goes in 4 places. So that covers 3, 4, 5. Discovering people, make sure you use the Discover People tool. It's in the menu of the settings option of your Instagram, and Instagram will recommend people that you should connect with. And that's how you're going to grow your following. You're going to look at the Discover People, you're going to connect with people, they're going to connect back with you. You can also use the Discover People tool to connect to all the phone contacts in your phone. And finally, love stuff, comment on stuff, and DM. That trio is what's the key, right? It's not just one. Like if you love a post, people may or may not see that. If you comment, they may or may not see that. They'll probably see the comment more than the love. But if you DM them or you comment on their story, they will see that. Because very few people end up in my DM on Instagram, but a lot of people comment on my stuff and a lot of people love and like my stuff. So if you
what I
want
love about the Discover function, Alex, is a lot of agents don't know how to take their database, their sphere of influence, and connect it to their social platforms. And if they're in your phone, they're probably your sphere of influence. They're probably your past clients. So leveraging that tool to make sure you're connected with those people so that everywhere they go, they start to see you. It's these little things that all add up to a big difference.
Absolutely. And by the way, Ayub is a pro on Instagram. Alex Ayub here. Alex, you want to share with them a little bit about like geotagging? Like if a realtor is in a certain location, they could actually look up other people in that location and make comments on their posts or DM them.
Yeah, so I mean, I think one of the most important things to do on Instagram, since it's one of the highest platforms in regards to the content volume, is take a look at what agents in the industry inspire you are doing. So if you have a few local realtors that you know are crushing it, check out what they're posting. Are they giving local market updates? Are they walking through these neighborhoods? What areas are they tagging? What information are they leveraging? And take a little bit from what they're doing and start applying it. What hashtags are they using? If these are local realtors that you look up to and they're working and being efficient with their Instagram, check out their hashtags. Get a few of their hashtags, try them out. Things like this make a big impact. And then I think something that's really important is, Alex Montalenti mentioned, is don't oversell. Right? You want to have a very established content mix. And what I usually recommend is doing lifestyle. Make sure you're in the pictures too of what you're doing in these neighborhoods you position yourself as the expert as. Then from lifestyle, also market updates. And then lastly, sneak in a listing here and there, kind of blindside them with it, but be so enjoyable to keep up with online that you make an impact. That's my few nuggets in there on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, we look at a lot of accounts. We manage a lot of accounts on social media. And I can tell you that the highest engagement posts are the ones that have you in them, right? The biggest thing missing on social media is actually you, the realtor, your face, you live at some place. It's not all the stuff that you're putting out. It's really people want to connect with you.
100%.
Love that.
All right, moving to LinkedIn. Now, I love LinkedIn. I've kind of fallen in love with LinkedIn. For a lot of realtors that are less tech savvy, I would say you'd actually really love LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a very desktop friendly application. While Facebook and Instagram is like mobile, LinkedIn I prefer to use on a desktop. And what's nice about that is you get the whole space to work with on your computer. So again, I recommend updating your photo on LinkedIn. I recommend having a solid cover image. I would say 70 to 80% of realtors don't have a cover image on LinkedIn that reflects their brand. I recommend updating your contact info. You probably haven't even touched that thing in ages, and it might have wrong information. We see that all the time. I would recommend posting videos because LinkedIn is so serious. Videos perform really well on LinkedIn, especially if there's a little comedy to it, a little humor to it. You always want to go counter the marketing. LinkedIn's so serious, so break it up with something funny. You can add featured items on LinkedIn, meaning like your best achievements or your best listings can be featured on LinkedIn and stick on your LinkedIn profile. And this one's huge. And a lot of you don't do this, but I taught about this many times. You can go to LinkedIn to the networking tool, and you can actually take a spreadsheet of all your contacts and go upload contacts. And LinkedIn will find the contacts, and then all you have to do is connect with the people. You cannot do this on Facebook. You cannot do this on Instagram. Only LinkedIn has this on desktop, where you go to networking, you go to contacts, and then there's a button that says add contacts or upload contacts. You upload a CSV file, and boom, you could upload all the contacts that are in your phone. You could upload all the contacts from your Gmail account. In fact, LinkedIn has integration to your Gmail account, to your AOL account, if you still use that, to like your Yahoo account, and it'll find all the contacts in your email server and find those people on LinkedIn. So, I mean, talk about leveraging your time. What was that?
I said, love that.
Yeah. That's huge. I mean, I've done that with realtors, and like they upload 1,000 contacts and they make like 300 connections within like an hour. So, and again, like, comment, and DM on LinkedIn as well. And be authentic on LinkedIn, because there is a lot of spam going on LinkedIn where people are like DMing like crazy. But if you write a real message, you'll stand out in the ocean of spam comments, of spam DMs. Finally, we get to YouTube. YouTube, I know that a lot of realtors aren't on YouTube, but I'm going to tell you this. Google owns YouTube. The Google algorithm is promoting YouTube videos. And if you don't get your butts on YouTube, you're going to miss out. Like, it's such an important channel right now. and just getting on video. I know there's a lot of fear around video. I know that it's like, I don't know what to put on video, but listen, even if you're not on the video, at least do some neighborhood videos and at least have a YouTube channel, because that's evergreen content that'll serve you for who knows how many years. Make sure you have an updated cover image on YouTube. Make sure you're linking to all your social media. Update your bio on LinkedIn. If you want to leverage your time, post shorts. Those are the most popular thing on YouTube right now. Add a welcome video like, hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Alex Montalenti. On this channel, I'm going to talk about this, this, and that. Just have a simple welcome video to welcome people. Have a posting template to leverage your time. That's a little more advanced, but that'll save you a lot of time. Create attractive thumbnails. If you look at, some of the, look at Ryan Serhan's YouTube channel, he's got these attractive thumbnails. You can make those in Canva. You can get somebody on Fiverr to make those for you. Have somebody edit your videos on Fiverr and add B-roll. By the way, if you go on Fiverr, you can get people to edit videos for $25. So it's not like hundreds of dollars anymore. Now it's $25 to edit a video.
And also, I want to throw this in as well. We're in a market right now where everybody's like, there's a deficit of sellers. It's hard to get these sellers. Think about what these sellers find to be attractive. If you're an agent that's active on a platform like YouTube, you're doing these high quality videos, you're doing the edits, they're sitting there going, wow, my listing's about to get promoted heavily by somebody that really takes their time with, these listing videos or anything promoting the neighborhoods. This is somebody I'm going to pick over another local real estate agent. So this is extremely appealing to sellers in this market, and we hear it all the time. Huge.
I got a question here.
Yeah.
I know the answer, but I'm gonna let you guys handle it. Can I share my same videos and reels on YouTube that I do on Facebook and Instagram?
So you can, depends what format they're in. So, if they're vertical format, you're going to share it as a short. If it's horizontal format, you're just going to post it as a video. Generally, YouTube videos that are horizontal are going to be more long format, meaning they're going to be longer videos, and the shorts are going to be short format. But yeah, of course you can post it there.
Thank you.
All right, then these are 7 social tech tools that I call this like your tech stack. You should consider having some, if not all of these, for your use on social media. CapCut is amazing. It has pre-created video templates. It's the tool that lets you put the text over your videos. InVideo has lots of templates for you for all the different platforms. ChatGPT, obviously, we hear everybody talk about that. The combination of ChatGPT to get the verbiage for a video and InVideo to have a professional video, you could literally take the two of those and have automated videos happening. TubeBuddy is important for YouTube. vidIQ is important to get subscribers. Cloud Campaign is the tool that we use for scheduling social media content on all of these platforms. And they'll give you metrics, and they can automate the postings for you and give you one place to answer messages on every platform. And then most people know about Canva, but most people don't know that Canva lets you create YouTube cover images. It lets you create YouTube thumbnails. There's so much more you can do with Canva, including video. So these are 7 great social tech tools. Anything to add there, Sam? Have you used most of these, I'm sure?
Yeah, we use these things. It's funny because I did last week a presentation on just different tech tools that we can use to hack our success. And look, the point is simple. Like, the hard work has to get done, but the tech that's available makes it a lot easier, and it gives you the unfair advantage. A lot of them are free. Some of them are a few bucks. But, Alex started earlier. Are you dabbling or are you going all in, right? And right now, more than ever in this wonky market, this is your opportunity to go all in, because a lot of agents are sitting on the sidelines kind of with their head in the sand, which means there's less noise, which then in turn means this is your opportunity to get more attention and come out of a market like this better than you went into it.
Totally. There's so many distractions. Everybody knows there's a lot of distractions. A thing I did recently on the weekend, I had a little bit of time. I went on my phone and I looked at what are the apps that I have on the home screen of my phone. And if you don't have the social media apps on the home screen of your phone, that means they're kind of like in the background, they're blurry, right? Like the blurriness of back here versus the focus. You may want to organize your social media apps so that they're in a folder right on the home screen of your phone. So you have a mental reminder to get out there on these platforms daily, right? Make your life easier. If you don't have the YouTube app, chances are you're not going to upload a YouTube video, right? If you don't have the Facebook app, you're not going to do a Facebook post. If you don't have the Instagram app, if you got to go searching through it and it's 5 pages deep on your phone, chances are you're not going to post today, right? It's not like front and center for you. So you may want to organize your phone and put the tools that are important for you nice and organized into folders. Now, repurposing content is the name of the game for the influencers out there. And for a lot of you, this may be Greek. And for a lot of you, you may be considering this, but this saved the day for me is when I create a YouTube video or I do a podcast video, I have it edited by a guy on Fiverr for 25 to 50 bucks. Okay. And then that turns into a blog post or it ends up as a post on all the different platforms. Now, when I create a video on YouTube, I get a teaser out of it, I get the full edited version out of it, and I get a bunch of clips out of it. So 1 hour, like this video that we're doing right now, Sam and I could repurpose this entire video and probably get, I don't know, 50 to 100 posts out of it if we really wanted to. So that's the whole idea is like repurpose your content. It doesn't have to be you getting super creative every morning. It could be blocking time to do a bunch of content and then repurpose it for all your platforms over time. So if that was useful, yeah, exactly. So if this was useful for you and you want the slides and the guides, this is the number. This is Alex Ayub's number. You can text him your name and he'll text you back the link to the guidebooks, the 242 pages of guidebooks and the slides from today's presentation. This is just a free resource we want to give you. And you can always ask Alex if you have any questions. So that number is 305-812-9333. And Alex, if you want to put that in the chat for everybody.
Got it. So as of right now,
we're not going to follow up and spam on you. Trust me, we don't do that. But this is just a one-time text. We'll text you the links, the guides, and have a good day. If you have questions, feel free to reach out.
There you go. Got it. Yeah, I got a few of the texts coming in now. Awesome.
All right, so now this goes into the next part of our presentation, which is really the importance of your online presence. And I want to ask those of you on the call, feel free to put in the Q&A or in the chat, how's your digital presence paying off right now? Like where, like I'm going to let Ayub, you can take it from here if you want. Yeah, let's let you take it from here. You want to share your screen?
Yep, perfect. I'll go ahead and share mine. So in regards to what I want to do, I know there's no chat besides a Q&A for today's Zoom, but feel free to use that number that we have pop up there in the green. And I want to know, right, we've already covered what the 8 essential real estate platforms are that are currently ranking the highest and getting the highest amount of revenue as well. So I wanted to know out of these 8, which have been paying off for you. And you can go ahead and text that into the number you have here in green. And I'll just read a few of them out. Right. So I'll go ahead and read some of these out right here. I had somebody text in, I got deals from Facebook, Instagram, and Zillow. Somebody else texted in saying, gotten deals from Realtor.com, Homes.com. Joy Guerrera says, I've gotten deals from Facebook Business. Somebody texted in, I've gotten deals from Google, Realtor, Zillow, Instagram, and Facebook. A few of you texted in, I haven't gotten any deals from these yet. So, you know, this is something I mention whenever I speak, because there's very few times I actually get texts or responses where I have an agent go, Alex, I'm getting business from all 8 of these. And that just goes right back to the dabble versus going all in. the top players nationwide right now, what they're doing is they're leveraging these 8 profiles. They don't have to work as hard because they have high levels of credibility across all 8. Imagine looking so good that friends, family, your past clients now get excited to refer you because you look incredible across all 8 of these profiles. So instead of waking up every day and going, man, what do I look like online? I hope I don't get Googled. This should be where you're playing at. And the craziest part is we said these are the 8 highest ranking, the ones that bring in the highest amount of revenue. From the text I got within a few seconds, you guys all confirmed it. You named all 8 of these profiles have brought you in business. And if I ask you, somebody's interested in doing business with you, where do you think the first place anybody's going to search? So go ahead and text that in really quick. And that was the quickest response I've ever gotten. Everybody said Google right on the spot. I got like 40 Google texts right there. That's right. Every single one of your potential clients is going to Google. You think about consumers. This industry has shifted drastically since COVID. The amount of business that's getting done on these 8 platforms is historic. We've never seen numbers like this in the past. And this is where you all need to be playing. So if you're confused of, oh, where am I dabbling? Where am I going all in? This is where you need to be going all in.
Yeah, I think you bring that up, but that just brought me back, dude, like way before COVID. When we used to go to the real estate office, I'm like, and I would tell people to raise their hand. I'm like, raise your hand if you're getting anything off Facebook. And there'd literally only be like 1 or 2 people in the room that'd be like, I just closed a deal off of Facebook. Everybody else in the room would be looking at them like, you're crazy. Like, you're doing business on Facebook. And now post-COVID, obviously 40% surge in use of COVID, surge of use of Facebook and Instagram. There's deals happening on all these platforms like crazy for a lot of people. So this is just the beginning, right? I mean, I know we feel like Facebook has been around for a while and Instagram has been around for a while. They're pretty young technologies still, right? This is only the beginning, and more people are getting on there. And, everybody tells me, hey, Alex, Facebook's dead. That's so not true. Facebook is not dead. Like, people are still doing tons of business on Facebook. It's far from dead. Yeah, is TikTok exciting and new? Yeah, it is. But Facebook's not dead.
I mean, I agree 100%. We do these trainings daily. We get in front of large groups, and there's not a single day that goes by without hearing tons and tons of realtors saying, I get a lot of my business, is not most of it, from Facebook, Instagram. And I mean, these profiles, these 8 statistically are the biggest revenue producers right now nationwide. So let's start having a little fun here. And the next question I'm going to ask everybody to text in, and if you did miss the number, it's right there in green, is if you're thinking about these 8 profiles, and I'll bring this slide back up. And for those of you that are not familiar with this profile here on the right-hand side, this is a Google business page. What do you think your grade would be on all 8 of these? So think about this. If you have 4 out of the 8, you might be at a 50. If you have more than 4, you might be higher. Are they updated? Think about all that. So I'll read a few of these numbers out here. So far, I got 30, 20. Somebody texted in a 0. Wow.
And what we don't measure, we can't manage, right? So I mean, you gotta take notice of where you are currently. And I love what Alex Ayub says. He's like, listen, if you're at a 30, you're at 30% of your total potential online.
It's
right?
true.
If you're a 0, you're invisible online. If you're 100, it's like Google me, I'm a rock star.
Definitely. So I've gotten some mixed ones. I had somebody even text in a 90%, whoever that was, didn't have their name. Somebody said a 90. Joy Guevara said 35. Somebody else said a -1. I won't read your name out. Gabby Martinez says maybe a 20%. Tanya said 75. So we got some mixed reviews, and what's the actual number? What's the national average we're looking at? So after being in this game for many years, we've actually audited over 50,000 agent profiles nationwide, and the national average is actually sitting at a 30. And when I get to this slide, people are usually pretty shocked. They're like, Alex, what do you mean? I think I look pretty awesome. And then when we mention all the different data points and the things going wrong within these profiles is when we get this big ooh-ah moment, and people are like, whoa, I did not realize how detailed all the data is and how many opportunities I have falling through the cracks. I mean,
Yeah, there's
think
actually
that,
a
go ahead.
hundred, there's 181 data points on these 8 platforms. So I mean, if you don't have all the data points filled in, you're not really, you don't have full completion, you don't have full digital presence. So these are some of the biggest mistakes that we see out there, even with top producers. I've never seen anybody at 100. Let's put it that way.
Definitely. And I mean, some of the biggest things we see is outdated info, broken links, missing profiles, your data not being synchronized. So like, let's say you're one of the people that texted in like Tanya, and Tanya's going out and getting 20 transactions every year. But then the second I look Tanya up, Zillow says she's got 5 instead of 20. Realtor says she's been inactive for the last 2 years and she flat out doesn't have a homes. That's when you lose the credibility, and all the hard work you're doing on a day-to-day basis is not being leveraged to get you business. At the end of the day, if you think about it, take a look at the screen. This is what a top player looks like in 2023. These are the agents that are getting the business, getting the referrals, and able to play at 100%.
And this guy still needs to get reviews. If he's not at least 25 reviews, I wouldn't even play on Google local service ads. Just for all of you, we're not even talking about Google local service ads, but I just want, for those that are considering it, if you don't have at least 25 reviews, I wouldn't touch that thing. It's not going to be productive for you.
And that's accurate for sure. And, speaking of reviews, I want everybody to just take a moment, look at the screen and say, can I compete against somebody like this? If they're Googling me and I have somebody like a James Sanders or somebody that's had the help and gotten optimized, am I going to be able to get a deal, or are they going to take it from me? This is where the industry has gone, and this is what our experts at RealGrader help you accomplish. We're not giving anybody homework on this call. We're here to provide clarity and support so that we remove this burden from your backs. We help out with building your credibility online, getting your listings visibility, helping with your bios, helping you stack up these reviews, which, moving forward are going to be your currency. So this is my favorite part of the presentation. And this is where things get very real, because we're going to cover the 3 secrets of how to build your presence on these 8 profiles. And I'm going to do it very quickly by doing a live example. So the first secret is, how do we get your solid presence on the 8 sites? So take one last look at the 8 profiles right now, soak them in. If you joined late, go ahead and take a quick picture on your phone, because the next slide is where I'm actually going to bring one of these participants on live to the Zoom, and we're going to do what's called our famous hot seat. So during this hot seat, I am going to Google one of the participants live, and the only thing you need to do to participate in this hot seat is text me hot seat with your full name, and I'm going to be picking somebody at random. Preferably, I would like to pick somebody that's maybe been in the industry a while, so they have a solid presence online.
And somebody we can promote the panelist with video, that they're willing to be on video.
Got it. True. Yeah. Make sure you do have your audio and video available. Shoot me a text right now if you're on this Zoom. So I have a few people trying to jump in this hot seat. Dun, dun, dun. All right. I'll give you a few more minutes. So text in to that 305-812 number to be in the hot seat. I have a few of you that texted in, and I'll pull that number back up 1 second here. So the number is right here.
Are people getting nervous to be on a hot seat? Let's go.
Oh, I have a few. I'm just giving them some time. I'm making it fair here. All right. So I am going to go. Let's see who we got. I'm going to go with Tanisha Miles, because Tanisha Miles texted earlier that she says she might be at a 75 to 90. So she thinks she looks awesome online. So Tanisha, I'm going to go ahead and promote you as a panelist. Actually, I think.
Yeah, I got her. She's T Miles.
Yeah, go ahead and promote her really quick. And we'll get right here.
So Tanisha, just make sure you accept that request to become a panelist. We'll give you a couple seconds. Yep, she just added as panelist. And then
There we
just turn on your video, Tanisha. Can you turn, do you have the ability to do that? Are you able to, or do I have to? Let's
I
see.
think you have to 3-dot it and then give her permissions.
There, I saw her unmute herself. There she
It
is.
says it's disabled.
Oh,
for
you're
the
good. You're
start
good. We
video.
can hear you.
Can
How
you
you
get
doing,
her,
Tanisha?
can you get her video on or no? I can't do it on my end.
I can't do it on my end either.
Sam, are you able to by chance? Worst case
Whoever's the
scenario.
host can do it.
Yeah, so Monta, it says you're the host there.
Yeah, it's not giving me that option. I can only make her host, which that would not be good.
All right.
We'll do it with audio. That's okay.
All right, Tanisha. So just to confirm, are you based out of Atlanta?
Yes, I am.
Got it. Okay, perfect. So first
And
platform.
how long you been in business, Tanisha?
I've had my license since 2015 and I've been full-time since January 2019.
Nice. So you're all in.
I am.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, so let's jump right into this, Tanisha. So first platform we are looking for when we Google you is going to be a Google business page created at a personal level, which as of right now, we do not have populating for you, which means one of two things. You either do not have one or you have one that's titled the wrong way. So Tanisha, do you have a Google business page or not?
I do. So I think if you put like Tanisha Miles Atlanta, that may pop up that way.
Okay, got it. So first off, what we're looking for is you want to make sure you have all the keywords in place in your titling so your Google business page populates higher. Secondly, if I am looking at your Google business page, I do not see your face. We just talked about how important it is to humanize your brand, get your headshots out, be on video. So the first thing that our team would do is, boom, go ahead, get your headshot on there, make it branded, include all the important keywords. So we're talking things like your full name, your title, what position do you have within the brokerage? And also lastly, your brokerage. Next, if we come further down, Tanisha, is this your cell number here?
I believe so. 328-8078.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. So think about this, right? I give Tanisha a call. She's at a showing. She's busy, misses it, or she's getting a call from my number and she doesn't recognize it and she might just let it fall through the cracks. As of right now, there's no way to book appointments with Tanisha. So think about, getting a recommendation for this nice restaurant. You look at the menu, you love it, you see it's close by, and then you can't book a reservation. You call the front desk and they're busy. I'm going to another restaurant. So the next thing that anybody wants to have is below the cell phone number, an appointment section to be able to book appointments. So if we're talking about a Google business page, headshots, titling, reviews, and lastly, your appointment section, right?
Got it.
For all the newer agents on this call, reviews on Google Business are non-transaction based, which means friends can leave you reviews, family members, colleagues, anybody on this Zoom presentation can go and leave you a review. So that's a cheat code to building credibility quick, right? Next, let's go ahead and move to Tanisha's top result here over on the left-hand side, which is Realtor.com. If we are looking at Realtor.com, she does have branding that fits the dimensions. Here, you want to make sure that your branding also has calls to action. The other Alex mentioned how important it is to have proper calls to action, whether it be jumping on the phone with you, leveraging credibility, having branded images, and also making that consistent. So for branding, it's important to have branding that is leveraging things that help build your credibility. So up top, what I always like to have is I want to have my phone number everywhere. I want to make it as easy as possible for people to jump on the phone with me, because as soon as I do, that's it, right? I know I can do business with them on the spot. Next, if we come a little further down, so for Tanisha here, we see she's done some good volume. Tanisha, would you say 14 transactions in the last 2 years is accurate?
It's not. However, sometimes the MLSs do not synchronize, and I do off-market properties as well.
Got it. So yeah, one thing we want to help out with is making sure that your transaction history is as up to date as possible. And secondly, and this is something that's huge and everybody should think about this, Tanisha is selling herself short. Because if we look at her last 4 deals, one of them was over in Norcross. And then if we look at her service areas, there's no Norcross here. So what you do want to have flooded out is all of your data within these profiles. You want to be showing up in the right neighborhoods. You want to have all of your specializations. So you can actually have these sections flooded out as well. So you're showing up in more searches and you're getting more phone calls. Because the reality is Tanisha, she qualifies to be getting quite a few phone calls in different neighborhoods. We see she's spread out, but again, she's not showing up in those searches.
Another pro, sorry, I was just going to
Yeah,
add
go
on
ahead.
before you move on. Another pro tip for realtor.com, if you click on that, Alex,
Yeah.
is Tanisha, you have 6 Google reviews. You could actually have 6 recommendations, because on realtor.com, you can go in the dashboard and you can add any recommendations from anywhere. Recommendations that somebody texted you, recommendations you received over email, reviews from other platforms. Through the dashboard, you can up that so that you can build your reputation quickly.
For sure.
Thank you for that. All right.
That's a smart little hack right there, guys.
Right.
Definitely. All right, Tanisha, next, let's check out your Zillow. So if we're going on to Zillow, one thing that I do like about Tanisha's profiles is that she has consistent headshots. So having your headshot be up to date and consistent is super, super important to have. Here we're seeing, again, her data doesn't look the same as realtor.com. So you may want to go in and update your transaction history, Tanisha. You have sales sitting on the back end of this site. Something else I noticed that's missing is your bio. We saw your bio on another one of your profiles, but here there's no bio.
You caught me.
Yeah, another pro tip with your headshot too is you have a black background, and so the outline of your hair doesn't really, it merges into the background. If you picked a color that would be more contrasting, your headshot would pop not only on Zillow, but on every profile that you have.
I like that.
That's true. All right, let's see Tanisha's other platforms that are connected here. So we got her Facebook. Let's check this out. We spend a lot of time talking about Facebook here. So for Facebook, there's a few things we're noticing. Is one, Tanisha's doing a good job at trying to have consistent branding, but as you can see here, things are getting cut off. So making sure your branding fits the dimensions of each profile is extremely important. Secondly, something for me that I always want clarity on is, what is the titling of this page? So here it says, Tanisha Miles, I cover Atlanta homes. You definitely want to provide clarity that you're a real estate agent in your titling, so that you're ranking higher in searches, your sphere is up to date. You're not making people think too much. Besides that, also having your headshot. And here, Tanisha, and everybody should think about this, she has 191 followers on her business page. So these aren't people following Tanisha to see what she's doing on a Saturday night. There's 191 people that said, hey, I'm actually interested in having Tanisha be my real estate agent. The easiest way to get those 200 people to convert for you, Tanisha, is by sending them straight to your phone. So if we're talking about calls to action on Facebook, we always recommend to have cell phone numbers everywhere and a big call now. Easiest way to get those people to convert. So think about it. Tanisha's got a solid following, 200 people on that business page, and she's not giving them the shot to just jump on the phone as quick as possible. And Alex mentioned something huge. A lot of people use Facebook on their mobile. That's one click away for them.
So Tanisha, now that we took a look at your Google business, we took a look at your realtor, we took a look at your Facebook and your Zillow. I mean, there's 181 data points and we only covered 4 out of the 8 platforms, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
So I like every everything that you guys have been stating, especially with the headshot, making sure that it's consistent. I didn't know that I could add the recommendations like that, and adding more locations and just actually taking a deep dive into ensuring that all those data points are complete and looking good.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. So, I mean, for everybody else listening in, I mean, Tanisha's looking pretty awesome online. So, I mean, definitely want to acknowledge you, Tanisha, because you've obviously put in the work. You know, it's not 100%, but you can see that you've put in work. A lot of people on the call may not have even gotten that far. So, I mean, one thing we want to offer that's free value for all of you is we have a free audit that we do at getyourfreegrade.com. So just make note of that URL, getyourfreegrade.com, and you can get a free audit. We'll go and do a deep dive of all your online presence. And Alex is now going to show you what does it look like when your presence is totally dialed in on all these platforms. He's given a few examples, but we'll give an example of one realtor who's top of their game.
Yeah, 100%. So as Alex mentioned, definitely want to make sure that you think about all these details because there is a lot. And Tanisha already put in a lot of work and she's still having things fall through the cracks. So, you know, in regards to the example we're going to give really quick, you know, we've helped out Gary Ashton, who's the #1 Remax team in the world. And originally when he came to us, he thought he was looking incredible because he has a ton of support, but there was still a lot of room for improvement that we helped him accomplish. So we helped him get to the highest level on platforms like his Google business with up-to-date headshots, titling, the appointment section. We did the Facebook business with the branding, proper calls to action, Instagram business. We didn't even get to Instagram business today, right? We did his LinkedIn page with branding that fits the dimensions properly in a consistent headshot, his YouTube channel, which was one of those really big profiles that's being pushed directly through Google. His homes.com, which is slowly on the rise right now. The consumer searches are going up on a monthly basis on this platform. Most people say, I don't even know about homes.com. So Homes is another huge player. Realtor.com, where we saw Tanisha was definitely selling herself short. She's doing a lot of the hard work, but in reality, she could be getting more phone calls from this platform. And lastly, your Zillow pages. Regardless of the changes that happen in Zillow throughout the years, you are still going to need this platform. So overall, Gary, he's, you know, globally known agent. And even he, with all the support he's received, was sitting at an 82. And we helped him get up to 100. You know, it was a really big opportunity. And he was so happy with the results that he actually ended up investing in Real Grader 2, which we were beyond happy to see. You're going to say something, Alex?
No, just going to say that, you know, wherever you are, it's important to measure where you're at, right? You can't get it managed if you don't know where you're at. What we try to do on these calls is kind of wake you up to the fact that your customers are Googling you. They're seeing what they're seeing. You may or may not be getting the phone calls. You won't even know if you're not. Like, that's the big one. Like, you won't know if you're not getting the phone calls. And a lot of that has to do with how you're looking online.
Someone was asking, what's the link for the reviewing your social?
Getyourfreegrade.com.
Getyourfreegrade.com. Yeah.
And for all of you that were still asking for it, you wanted it to be sent over to you super quick, we're going to give you the opportunity to book a one-on-one Zoom call with our in-house professionals we do have at Real Grader. So, you know, if for some reason you're having trouble pulling up the link and you just want it texted to you, so you can book those one-on-one Zoom audits where we'll have more time and we'll do an in-depth overview of where you stand on Google, just like I did today with Tanisha. Go ahead and text the number here you see in green and text me link, and I'll send you that link so you can book your own one-on-one Zoom call as well.
Also, guys, this gets sent out to, you know, a couple thousand agents that didn't participate live. I'm sure they're going to ask if they watch this later, they can still text that number, correct?
Absolutely. They can. And the only caveat we have is if you're really serious, like you're not dabbling, you're all in, then text in and request a live audit. We do get a lot of requests for live audit, and we take them very seriously. We spend about 15 to 30 minutes with you going through your online presence. There's no obligation to work with us. We give you recommendations, but really only, do this if it's something that's important to you, because our schedules and our times are important to us, just like yours are. But we do offer this opportunity for you to see how you're doing online. And if you need help with it, we offer a service to actually get it all done for you.
Awfully kind of you guys. Thank you.
No problem.
For sure. So yeah, there's two different things you can text. One is link to get that free grade through our software. And two, if you are serious, request the live audit. So either text link for the free grade, or text live audit. And I'll send you the links accordingly through text myself.
And for those listening in, I'll just say the number out loud because I know some people just listen on audio. The phone number is 305-812-9333. And just make sure when you text link or live audit that you also give us your name so that we know, we can address you as a person.
And this audit is all free, right?
Yeah, absolutely free. 100%.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think we did it just in time. Well, maybe a couple minutes overtime. But
Cool.
yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much. That was awesome. We'll obviously get this sent out to everybody that missed it. And, I'm sure in a few months, everyone would like to have you back. Any final thoughts before we break?
Yeah, in the future, we'd love to come back and talk to you about the importance of networking and digital business cards and effective communication. I think that's something that we're talking about on a lot of stages lately, and seems to be where things are going. So we'd happy to come back talk about that.
We'd love to have you. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Everyone that's on the Zoom or in one of the watch parties, thank you for participating. We will see you again next Tuesday, same time, same place. Thank you all so much. Alex, you guys are legends. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you, everybody,
guys.
for showing up. We appreciate it. Everybody that was engaging and texting, we'll get back to you shortly. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.